Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today on the show, we've got a surprise guest because my guest from yesterday canceled on us and Junk in the Trunk jumped right in to do it. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
So, what you been doing besides scrambling to do a show you hadn't planned to do?
We're finishing up a hoarder house. It's on Home Street, so we'll be heading there after we leave here, and we're given a quote for a clean out later today too.
All right.
That's about it.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It can be, yeah. Well, actually, it is. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So, before we expound on that a little bit, let's talk about, Junk in the Trunk and your different projects. And also people are very interested in who you are. So like, I should say that, you got a lot of different projects under Junk in the Trunk. We'll talk about those. And then also like, where are you from and what high school did you go to and stuff like that?
Well, I graduated from Holt High School, and I graduated from Ferris University, and
I went to Everett, and I went to LCC after that.
Yeah. So I was a Viking myself in 1981, so I think I'm probably older than you guys. And there were a ton of people from Holt. My sister went to Holt. So that's interesting. Were you both born in Lansing?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I was born in Lansing at Sparrow.
Yeah, I was born at Old Lansing General.
Yeah.
This is McLaren now.
Yeah, I was born in McLaren too. I think it was called Lansing General?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was born in Ingham Medical Center.
Ah.
The one on Green Lawn there. So tell us about Junk in the Trunk.
Well, we've been in business, I guess, officially business for about 4 years. And it's a way to keep things out of landfills. So people have things that they don't want, we can come pick up. We normally, most of our jobs are like full households of stuff, like after an estate sale or someone's moving or someone has passed away. We deal a lot with hoarders and helping them. So we usually deal with stuff in the masses. So we're keeping those items. Our goal and our mission is to keep as much as we can out of dumpsters, out of landfills, and to try to we try to resell the items. And from there, then we try to donate to different organizations throughout the community. And then we also try to recycle, repurpose. We did a lot more repurposing in the beginning and more art in the beginning. I started before I went to Ferris. I went to art school for 2 years, and then I was at art school dropout. But so I really enjoy art. But we got into the business, got really big, and I wasn't able to work on repurposing as much. But I really enjoy that part of it. So I mean, just the main goal is to and trying to make community relationships. I mean, that's another thing. I want to help people as much as I can.
Okay. Yeah. Did you want to add something, Aaron?
No, she's the brains behind all of it, and I love what she comes up with and the stuff we do to help the community. And yeah, that's basically it.
So let's just use a generic example. How does it work? Like you get a phone call from somebody and they need help clearing something out, and then what happens?
Yeah, we'd get a phone call or chat message or something, and we'd set up a time to go over and we'd give them a quote on how much it would cost to remove everything. And if they have a lot of things that I feel like we could easily resell, then the price would be a lot cheaper. If it's a lot of things that we would have to unfortunately throw away, it would be a little bit more expensive because it costs money to throw things away. And then we just kind of go from there to see if they want to hire us. I also let them know that we can provide a donation receipt. It usually takes us a week to find an organization to donate their stuff to, but then I can send them a receipt so they have that for their taxes, and they know then we donated the stuff and we didn't just say we donated the stuff. And
so,
go ahead.
No, please.
I try to show too on our page how much we recycle so that everyone can see it. So when we go recycling, or just because it can be a messy job, so I try to show that we to proof that we do it, I guess.
Yeah. So when you go into a house and you're starting that work, what's that look like? I mean, I guess some of it's sometimes maybe pretty gross. Sometimes it's just a lot of work. Tell us about that experience, if you would.
There haven't been too many that have been too gross, but it can be. It all just depends. Most of the houses are usually pretty full with stuff, so I try to, and this isn't really the way he likes to do it, but I try to go through the house and separate what I first do a run through of everything I want to take to sell or something, and then from there we try to separate it into what I can recycle, what I can donate, at least from what I remember, I can donate to different organizations, and try and separate it into like different bins that are ready to go, but he just wants to load it all up. Yeah. So it just depends on how the day's going and who's running it for the day, but
yeah. So then after you get it all cleared out, we'll talk about the stuff in a minute. What happened? Do you do refurbishments too? Do you work on that side of it, or are you just clearing out?
We have done them, and actually that's probably one of my favorite parts of the job. I probably still have some really cool pieces that I've been saving. I know I do. There's one in my living room that I want to still finish. I want to still fix up, but we're just so busy. I haven't had a chance to do as much as I'd like.
Yeah. So you like to upcycle the stuff, but at the actual structure, the home or whatever it is that you're clearing out, do you ever refurbish those?
The houses, fix up the houses after we leave them, or while we're working on them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's done, not me necessarily, but occasionally we've been hired to do a few things, more like painting, or what are some things you've done?
Paint and fix some drywall. This small things.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the customer that could be out there for that part of your business is someone that's got a bunch of rooms filled up with stuff and they need to get rid of it because they're selling the house because maybe it was their parents that passed or something, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So a lot of good feedback from the crowd about just loving your mission. Well, Shannon doesn't count. But she, like Katie Kelly saying, I love this, helping in so many ways. Very cool idea. And Shannon does count because she really reached out to you, or did you reach out to her? I don't know. You guys formed that relationship, and it's been really good for our free store this year, but also a lot of other things that you helped with, art supplies earlier in the year and all of that. So we love you very much here at the Fledge. Aaron, you and I were talking out on the porch the other day, and I was asking you about, some of the weird things that you found, some of the valuable things that you might have found or whatever. You want to tell the story of what you told me that you found?
Oh yeah, the one hoarder house we're working in, and that day I didn't put gloves on. I was only going to be there for a little while, and I reached down I thought was to pick up a plastic bag, but it turned out to be a petrified cat. It was next to the hot tub in a basement, and it was stuck to the stairs so bad I had to rip the stairs off the hot tub and throw it all away because the cat wouldn't come off the stairs.
That would have freaked me out. I don't know. That would have freaked me out. What happens if you find something like super valuable? Like, have you ever found a really valuable Beanie Baby? Because they promised us.
Yeah, I know. No, I haven't ever really tried to sell any of those. And maybe I'm missing out on $1 million, but I usually give those away to kids. We get a lot of them. I don't know. I'm trying to think what our most valuable thing that we've ever had. I mean, we've gotten some really cool, like old mid-century furniture, but and older than that, but I really like furniture, and those might still be in my garage. I don't know. We haven't sold any of those, but I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Did this start as like a home-based business where everything was in your garage and then you expanded, or everything's still in your garage? I know the answer to this question, but
we started with, we have a 4-car garage. I mean, it used to be like when I bought the house, it was to repair cars. So it's a really deep garage. So, I mean, I just started by just storing stuff in the garage, and then we expanded to next door to my house is a building that it doesn't have any businesses in it anymore, so we were able to rent it really cheap, and we filled that like within a summer. I mean, we completely filled it. So from there, then we decided we were going to move out of that building and get a warehouse, and we finally found one that we could afford, and then we filled the warehouse before we could clear out the stuff at the other storage buildings. We have both. And the garage. All that full.
So do you what do I want to say? Like, do you watch all the different shows about the American Pickers and the different hoarder shows and the different I forget the one that's about the like self-storage that you can bid on? Do you watch shows like that?
Oh yeah, we watch them all, especially the American Pickers, because sometimes we'll be on there and be like, oh, we've gotten like 15 of those, and it's something they're like all excited about, and we're like, oh, we get those all the time. Well, now we know has its value. But I swear, like, depending on what state you're in, values change though too, because they could think something has a lot of value, and we look at it and we're like, it's gonna sell for $15.
So are you growing fast during COVID? Did it slow down? What's it like during COVID?
It's actually doubled the size of our business. COVID has. I don't know, just people are at home, so they realize they have a lot of stuff. I think it started probably like maybe in April when we started. We had a couple months down. Actually, it probably would be May, where we were just at home. We actually were making progress, selling a bunch of stuff and just getting rid of stuff, and then we just got slammed. Like, just everybody was just downsizing, and then eventually they were opened up where they could do estate sales again, and we started getting really busy with clearing out estate sales again. But we were working probably at one point like 18 hours a day, maybe 20.
Yeah. So that was more because people were doing projects at home at first, right? I'm sitting there, I've been wanting to clear this garage forever, and finally I get a chance to do it because maybe I'm laid off, or maybe I'm working from home, or whatever it might be. But you told me earlier it wasn't because of evictions, because there's been a moratorium on evictions for a long time. So that dynamic did change when COVID hit?
Well,
Is that true?
when COVID hit, we have helped more single families during this time, where we've had a lot more people reach out to us, and a lot of people have reached out to us for resources, help because they are possibly might get evicted. And so I've then tried to learn or educate myself more on some of the programs that are available out there, like referring people like Set Forward Michigan, and just to there's Elder Law of Michigan too, to help with some of the benefit enrollment programs, so they can. I've sent all that way, and I've only heard of updates from a few of them afterwards, but I've had a lot more people needing help. I don't know how much. I don't think we've done, our business has picked up because we've been doing cleanouts because of people being evicted. I don't think there's been any cases like that. At least I haven't been aware of them. Sometimes I don't know the situations.
Yeah.
But we've helped a lot more people.
Okay.
From them reaching out, I guess.
So, all right. So I want to go back to like some of the things you sell stuff, right? That you recover. Yes. And sometimes you upcycle it. And how can somebody buy something from you? Like, how do I know what you have? So if someone out there's listening, is like, I need a baby stroller, how do they check to see if you have one or something?
Well, well, they can always write us on Junk in the Trunk. I have a store on Macari. We have a website that has probably about 50 to 60 items listed, but that's something that we're still working on, trying to get things. I post things, not daily right now. I've been working more on donations this past month and a half, so I haven't been posting as much for sale. But I post a couple different things for sale. Something that we're good at selling, I guess, are things in bulk and in lots, because we have so much. So especially if someone's looking for something in lots, that's something I post about often, like jewelry, craft stuff, paint, what's some other stuff, like buttons. Yeah. So we'd sell all that stuff in lots, but if they reach out to me, I can send them pictures. Eventually, I'd like to have all that stuff, or have someone help me get it all on the website so that people can shop a little bit easier. That is a problem right now.
Okay. All right. And we've tried to do that around here all the time, and it's so hard to keep up with, and things are moving so fast that there's got to be a better way. Yeah. If you figure out that better way, I'd like to hear it. Or maybe that's your secret sauce to do you want, where do you see like the vision of the company? Like, do you want a bunch of employees and it's more industrial, where it's kind of like you get stuff in and you process it and take the photo and automate it, or are you guys just want to be the power couple that you are and just get work done, and you just kind of like it the way it is right now? Like, do you have plans for growth, or you just want to stay steady?
I think my life would be a lot easier if I had help and that we could hire some people. I just think right now is just a bad time to hire people for us. We just haven't, I haven't had the time, I guess, to train people to do the things that I need help with. I'd have to be right there to work with them. And I don't right now, because of how busy we've been, I haven't had time to work with anybody. That probably sounds terrible. But I mean, we do need people. There's so many different directions that we could go, and so many other ways we could help. That having a big staff, would be amazing.
Do you ever search out volunteers to help you or anything like that?
Not really. I don't know. I feel like the work that we do, I think that I want to pay them. I think that I don't know. some people have volunteered to help, and we've had some people work for us like for stuff before, and sometimes that works out. It's just that we're torn in so many different directions, working in different areas. It's hard to even set up a time to go to have like if maybe I could plan like a volunteer day or something. That would be great.
Yeah, volunteers can be hard to manage, and then you can't really be upset with them or hold them accountable if they do something wrong, because they're doing something nice for you. So I definitely get that. I don't think it's bad at all. I want to now. You said your mission in the beginning was to keep things out of landfill, but then you went and you talked about how you're helping people, to avoid eviction or to, get whatever help they need through this hard times. It seems like your mission is definitely environmental and keeping things out of the landfill, but it's a bigger mission than that, isn't it?
It is. I would say still that my main thing is like I don't like to see good things thrown away. And a way to keep those things from being thrown away is because someone can use them. So I guess they kind of work together. I guess it's a way that I can help people and keep things out of landfills. So donating is great for the earth.
Yes, it is. And I've seen you guys had some clothes that you gave to us. You've had tubs of art supplies and that. So I've seen a lot of things that you haven't put into the landfill. And then I was in the big storage warehouse. I don't know what to call that. It seemed huge to me. And there's tons of things that you're keeping out of the landfill. So I think you're doing a great job at your mission. And I also, like when we were posting together, like we'll tag each other once in a while, people will come on our page and just tell us how much they love what you guys are doing. Because I'll just tell you frankly, when I first heard about you, I'm like, okay, they're just getting this and they're flipping it. And it didn't feel like a social mission to me. And then Shannon said, no, she really cares about keeping it out of the landfill. And then, all right, that makes sense to me. That's a good mission. And then it seems like you must have shown so many people so much love because they turn right on it. We love those guys. We hear that all the time. Love is the number one word used when somebody comments about junk in the trunk. And I think it's fascinating. So, is there something you do every damn day to push that mission forward? The landfill mission, I think it's a bigger mission, but that's only my opinion.
Well,
This work.
Well, I think one thing is I rarely sleep. And yeah, I guess that like I don't get much sleep because and people tell me all the time, they say, well, you need to take time for yourself but I want this, I like in the business that I started so much that like I want to get more stuff done. There's not enough time in the day, so if I have to sleep, I do a lot of work overnight. And sometimes like my sleep time is from like 6 till 10. Like I get up at like 10 a.m. It's weird, I know. But so that's something, and maybe I need to change that eventually, but we're doing so much work that like I don't sleep.
Yeah. Well, they always tell me that's not sustainable. And so I started sleeping a lot better over the last couple of years, but I know the way you feel, to have a passion, so strong for that. What about you, Aaron? Do you have a gym membership, or do you just use your job as your gym membership?
I used to have a gym membership, but we're so busy now, and I lift so much stuff. I don't need to go to the gym anymore.
That's That's what I tell people all the time too, is why would I have a gym membership? I could just go work in the basement for a couple hours. And for you, I mean, I see you're running around all the time. So it's
Yep. Our schedule is a little different. She stays up overnight. I try to be in bed by 12:01, and then I get up about 8 in the morning. So we're nonstop running because there's stuff that I got to take care of in the morning, and there's stuff she takes care of at night. And we're never really sitting around watching like too much TV right now.
Yeah, I was wondering that when I was asking the question about those shows that are on, you were probably going to answer, we don't have time for that. So I daisy chained the shows together, and yesterday we had Sarah Gross from the Michigan History Center, and the question that she wanted me to ask you guys is, what's something that people don't know about junk in the trunk? Like what's, not a deep, dark business secret, but what's something that people usually don't think about when they hear junk in the trunk that they should, or maybe you want them to?
Well, a lot of, I guess one thing is that how much stuff people have, and how much great stuff that we save, and that there's only two of us. I think that's a lot of something that people don't really, a lot of them think that we have a big staff, and there's actually only two of us that do all this. And I just sometimes going into the houses, I can't believe how much stuff people have accumulated, and we're gonna actually we've talked about just started doing some videos just to show the stuff in the beginning, to see just how much there is, and how much I just think we got to come up with another way to like get this stuff into the hands of people that need it. But seeing how much we see, I think people would be shocked, really. And I think people too have this like opinion that like we're some kind of hoarders or something ourselves, because we have to save it for a while to find a place to give it. So they come in and they're like, wow, you guys hoard. And really, it's the process of having to find a home for it. So I don't know. You want to?
This with our business secret or whatever is just how much time and dedication we put into stuff. I mean, we get a house to two full houses here and there, like a week, and we're the only ones. I'm carrying dressers up from basements by myself. You're sorting stuff to figure out where it goes, and there's a lot of work that goes into getting certain jobs and stuff done, and time that it takes.
I guess also too, people probably don't know that our the way we find the biggest treasures are our 4-year-old. I mean, he goes in and he's just a magnet. He knows he'll go and find the things that are the most valuable, and he'll have them in his arms. So he's like our little collector that tells us all the secrets. I don't know how he knows. I think it's YouTube.
Well, I think that, there's something to that, because when I was in college a long time ago, I'm a degree in statistics, and Kellogg hired us to do a study on who made purchase decisions on cereal. And it's definitely the kids that made the purchase. So they know what they want, and maybe, he knows what his peers want. So that's interesting to me. Do you think there's an overconsumption in America? Like people just shop to shop, and they're told that that's the American dream. Do you ever think about it in those terms?
Oh, there is. I mean, I'd say the majority of the hoarder homes that we've done they're not dirty. They're very clean. What they do is they buy online, and then I think they maybe lose it in the mess, but it's a lot of it's new stuff, brand new stuff that they just continually buy. So those are our favorite ones to do.
I've been looking through tubs that Shannon has brought over, and it's like, what is this thing? I have no idea what this would be used for, and we usually figure it out. But there are some really obscure things that people own that I never would have thought existed. So to keep Daisy Chain and the shows together, tomorrow on the show, I've got Figgins and Casey, and they build the free stands. Like they're they started the Lansing free stand group, and the stand that we have out in front of the Fledge where we hold our food, they built, and they're going to come on and talk about that. What question would you like me to pass on to them?
How many people do you think you help? Or how many? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question for them. And I'm going to kind of turn that on you and ask you, how do you measure your impact? Like, is it the number of people that you helped? Is it the number of items you've saved from the landfills? Is it the pounds of clothing? How do you measure that you're meeting your mission, or how many people you've helped or how much you've saved?
I usually keep track of it by how many families we've given stuff to. I don't really keep track of the numbers of the items. Sometimes we will post about the amount of metal that we recycle, but that's because we get numbers handed to us. But I usually kind of keep track of it by the number of organizations that we donate to. And I guess so it's just kind of estimated. I don't really have a number, but sometimes I'll post like how many organizations that we've given to, and then how many bags or boxes they've put on a receipt or something and then I do, I guess it's still be estimated, but I keep track of, and I don't have the numbers with me, but like how many bins worth of plastic bottles we take to the recycling center, or the boxes. But usually those numbers are kind of low because I use them for shipping too. But I try to keep track of them just a little bit, just to show people that proof that we do what we say.
So I think this is fascinating. I think it's a very important business. We have 3 values at the Fledge that are kind of our overriding values: ourselves, each other, and the environment. And I think that you guys are definitely hitting on all 3 of those with what you're doing with your business. Maybe you need a little more sleep and a little more help carrying things up the steps, but that'll come as you continue to make this business grow and all of that. So at the end, I usually ask you to take me out with something, like some word of advice, or you could just say deuces to everybody. But I'm going to change this today. This is going to be the first show that I'm going to ask you something different. And if somebody's out there watching right now and they want to help in some way, how could they help? Do you like buying something from you, referring a house that needs to be cleaned out to you? What's the best way a crowd could help you?
Well, there's a lot of ways. They could like our page. They could tag us in a post. They could think of us if they know somebody, refer us, and if they need junk removed, or if they need reusable items removed. Or if they're looking to buy something, we have new and we have used items. just message us and I can send them pictures, or they can set up a time to come check out the warehouse. So there's a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of free ways that you can help.
All right. So we'll be sharing your Facebook page with our post with this, but crowd out there watching right now or watching later, go like Junk in the Trunk and get involved on their page, because then you'll be able to see the different things that they might have available or different ways you can engage. And like, is your tagline, what you going to do with all that junk? Because I've had that song stuck in my head since you agreed to do the show.
No, that's funny though. No, I think we usually say we give your items a second life.
All right, that's a much better motto than that song is. That's for sure. So, thank you for coming on the show. I love talking to you. I hope you had a little bit of fun, and we'll get these links out there and get some more people connected to Junk in the Trunk, because protecting our environment, slowing down fast fashion, and slowing down consumerism are all important things to do. I love you guys. I love what you do. Shannon's just head over heels about what you do. And you've been such a great friend of the Fledge during this holiday season that's coming up, and helping us with the free store. So thank you so very much.
Well, thank you for having us on. We really appreciate the help that you've done for us too. Thank you.
So I'm trying to learn to sign a little bit. So see you later. And we'll see everyone tomorrow on another episode of Every Damn Day. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
See ya.